wanted to ask Tracie Washington also about the issue of claims and play a clip for you on this issue of the government of BP being involved with claims. Louis Behai is a Louisiana charter boat captain who suffered from various health problems after he served on an oil spill cleanup crew. Louisiana Environmental Action Network documented how he also failed to receive compensation from BP.
I don't know if anybody else didn't get their money, but I didn't get my money. And at the end of the deal, they owed us, a month of time, which is a good chunk of change, and 2 boats that are on standby that we couldn't use to do anything else but BP work. So in other words, BP right now, according to their contracts, not mine, they owe me about $225,000, which I call that retarded, but I mean, I didn't make the deal. They did.
Tracie Washington, from BP to the federal government, the compensation and the whole process, how it has worked, particularly in the communities you work with.
It's absolutely insane, and it's just beyond frustrating. Your last guest talked about the fact that the boat people, the Southeast Asian community with limited English-speaking abilities and education issues have a problem navigating the system, Amy. Well, I have a bachelor's, master's, and law degree, and I still have problems, and I am representing many of these individuals who have claims. First, you have problems, as the person on your last clip indicated, with folks who were not paid for doing direct work for BP with the cleanup after, the spill, but working on the cleanup. And then, unfortunately, we have this massive group of people who are still waiting to be paid through Ken Feinberg, our czar, with their, income claims, be it small businesses or individuals. These people now seem to be far more concerned about protecting BP from being ripped off than they are about ensuring folks get paid. $20 billion set aside, and Mr. Feinberg has managed to pay out $4 billion. Yesterday, we received a press release announcing a big payout on one claim. And I wrote back to Mr. Feinberg because our organization, Louisiana Justice Institute, is one of the public interest law firms that has been assisting individuals with claims in this process. And I said, well, thank you for that press release on the eve of this commemoration of the BP spill. But we need more than just one, Mr. Feinberg. What have you been doing aside from sending people to the U.S. Attorney's Office for overbilling BP by $4,000, $5,000 and then putting them in jail? Put the BP executives in jail. You need to pay these. It's beyond frustrating, and I know I'm getting upset all over again, but we get the telephone calls, Amy, down here with people saying, Ms. Washington, Attorney Washington, please help us get our money. We hear one thing from GCCF. We hear another thing when we call BP directly. What are we supposed to do? I'm an attorney, and I still can't help them.
Do you feel that the federal government has improved in its emergency response after Katrina, then after the BP oil spill?
What I fear most, Amy, is that the federal government has learned and now mastered how to outsource claims adjustment, so that now and the fire next time when we get the next disaster, be it a Katrina or be it a BP, we will have 10 Ken Feinbergs versus just the regular federal bureaucracy. I'd just as soon call someone in the Department of Energy, call someone in Salazar's office, than have to deal with an outsourced Ken Feinberg. I want to be able to say there's somebody in the government responsible. Now, if you call the federal government, they say, call Ken Feinberg. That's just not satisfactory.
Tracie Washington, Louisiana Justice Institute, thanks so much for joining us from New Orleans.